pleasant.
What?
You, today.
What did you say?
I said it's pleasant.
Does sitting like that make you look fat?
I'm trying to strategically... I had to fake tan my arms earlier, so they're the same colour.
Do you know what it is? It's this sofa and this chair that makes you look fat.
I reckon that's the case.
And there's a bit of film we're going to show later. You know, see the boat... Oh, hello. Here we go. It's time for Jim and Her. Roll the titles. Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's a funny old day today.
Oh, please wish me luck.
Why?
Because you've just, from the second you've got in, it's just...
I see. Now we know why it's a funny old day. It must be me that's due on, mustn't it? I know it'd be my fault somehow along the way. There's lots to talk about today, and we've also got a special piece of film, an 8-minute piece of film, which we're going to show halfway through. It won't be here on YouTube because of restrictions, but it will be on Ustream if you want to watch the whole of this show, which is about an hour long, I guess, really. It all depends how we get... Trying to guess how long it's going to be. You have to go to ustream.com and sign up and have a little look. It's timed. You jumped into the water. It's all right pissing around here on YouTube for, a couple of little snippets. And thank you anyway for watching, and please hit your subscribe button. But it's best to see Jim and Her in all its glory. I've got us on a huge big widescreen in my cinema I built at home now.
Oh, have you?
It's great. Yeah, you look good on widescreen. I can expand you or put you in change you like that. I could make you 16:9 or full on.
Can you make me really skinny?
Why are we wearing black today?
We are wearing black in mourning of our country. What's happened, Jim?
You tell me. Tell us what has happened.
Well, so Sadiq Khan is still our London mayor.
How's that possible?
I get that...
Only 41% voted.
I was going to say the turnout is so poor, and the turnout across the country for the local elections is poor. But you get this feeling of like sort of turkeys voting for Christmas, don't you? I haven't spoken to a Londoner who likes Sadiq Khan, and you just look at...
Muslims.
We can say that the Muslim vote is obviously...
Is it the Muslim vote? What's the percentage of Muslim people in London? It's noticed that the inner areas in London, he really won all those. But all the other people that live...
But they were affected more by ULEZ as well, weren't they?
Because,
these are the people that are having to pay thousands of pounds to come into London because he's obviously expanded the ULEZ scheme. Mm-hmm. But then you look at this record, and he's so divisive. And knife crime is just through the roof. And when he's even tackled about knife crime...
We know he's crap, but who voted for him? The thing is, who voted? It's the Muslim. He's got the Muslim vote. He's got this thing going on in Gaza, and so he wants all the Muslims to support him, even though he's a Labour.
Well,
he's a Labour mayor, and Labour have a stance to say Israel have the right to protect themselves. I think that comes from Keir Starmer, by the way. It's got to, hasn't it?
Well, Labour lost, their vote was split because of the Gaza issue, right? Now,
if it was Corbyn leading the Labour Party, everyone would have voted for that, because he hates Israel, hates everybody, anything to do with anyone that's not Palestinian. He really does, and he's very
pro-Palestinian. But it still just amazes me that a mayor with the record he has, and like I say, knife crime is through the roof, and when the subject is raised, he trivialises it.
I know he does.
He said, "Oh, I think you should stop watching The Wire." I'm sorry. And then the next day, that poor child is stabbed to death on the way to school. And you go, right, no, this is a real serious issue that as London Mayor you should be tackling. I hate the fact...
to tackle it, isn't it? He just say to the police, get this stopped. But he doesn't. He doesn't say that.
Well, it needs a bigger deterrent. The thing is, he's in charge of
a bigger deterrent than the police.
But he's in charge of a police force that, let's face it, is responsible for two-tier policing at the moment.
What's that mean?
You see the pro-Palestinian marches, and you see the way the crowds are dealt with there, which is, yeah, just sort of get on with it. I mean, they even stopped a Jewish man and said, "You are openly Jewish," right? I mean, that's appalling policing. And they said, "We can't protect you."
Mike.
The fact that the police force is saying, "We can't protect you as a Jewish man," right, shows you that these marches are the hate marches that Braverman said they were. So they allow that, and then you see the difference with the policing with either football fans or the St George's Day thing. So there's a double standard of policing. And he oversees that. And he's allowed that to happen. And the reason, once again, going back to who he's voting for this man, is there a reason why he's allowing that or encouraging that to happen? Because these are the people he's relying on votes from, are the people that are supporting an issue in the Middle East. And you're voting in local elections on something happening in the Middle East. And that is terrifying. I mean,
how long have you been to London? Have you been to?
I go to
your
London a
boyfriend
lot
lives
now.
London,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
I go to London a lot, and I find it a really scary place. I do. I used to love London. I genuinely think it's one of the most brilliant cities in the world, and I look at it.
At doing what? Being mugged or knifed or whatever?
No, I don't feel safe. And
I don't feel safe. There's no police force. There's no police. I don't go to London. But I go to the Carlton Club. I go to Boysdale's.
You go to the doctors.
I go to the doctors in Harley Street quite a lot.
What are you doing?
Well, Polo next gone funny.
You look like one of the protesters. Have you seen the kids, the idiot students in America?
No.
So they've set up these Ivy League students, right? So these posh top university students. They've set up these encampments.
Why do they call it the Ivy League?
I don't know, but it is.
Premiership.
It is, yeah. It's like our Oxbridge. So they set up these little encampments, you know, in solidarity with the oppression of people in Gaza. Right, so they set up these camps, and then they broke into their own Ivy League building, right? Broke in, and then they realised they hadn't got any food or water, so they came out and demanded humanitarian aid from their university that they've just broken into and taken over, refusing to let any other students go in, going, "We need food and water because we might starve."
That's
and you
another
look at them and
good
go, "Oh, the entitlement of these kids, they're idiots." And
students, they're not kids, they're fucking students, they're another breed.
So the one that demanded, right, this is what she's studying.
Yeah.
Just, ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
She's writing a thesis currently on the theories of the imagination and poetry as interpreted through a Marxian lens, in order to update and propose an alternative to historicist ideological critiques of the romantic imagination. Brilliant. I mean, that's going to benefit society, right?
She got
Someone's
nice
put
tits.
a vital line of inquiry. I don't know whether anyone's ever seen her.
I've got this degree. It says I'm growing up with this girl. Yeah, she's got a degree in socialist and idealistic and the thing and the romantic
Through the
thing
Marxian
and the
lens.
Marxist thing and whatever. Oh, she's got a nice ass. Oh my God, I can't believe you've said that. Yeah. Well, my girlfriend's as thick as shit, but she's got a great ass.
Well, I'm sure that girlfriend would be more fun. I mean, can you imagine being so ridiculous though? I don't honestly believe they know what they're even
ban
protesting
universities.
for.
They don't teach you anything anymore.
They're just basically this comedian, Dane Baptiste. He's left wing. He's black. He's got a couple of BBC One shows. He's on Live at the Apollo, etc. Right? He ticks whatever boxes you don't tick.
Yeah.
Let's call it.
Good.
So he basically put out this Instagram post, which was quite frankly terrifying, and it targeted a specific female comedian who happens to be Jewish. He chose to use the word Zionism rather than Jewish, and thinks he can get out of jail with that card. But he threatened to go round her house and kill her.
Not in so many words.
No, it was in so many words. He said, "I will come round your house. Your agent will not be able to protect you, and I'll sit in prison
behind bars
while you're in the cemetery."
You're in the cemetery.
I mean,
that's not threatened to kill her, though, is it?
Oh, come on!
In a court of law, they'd pull that to pieces.
She's just having a.
Well, he's having a go. But he didn't threaten to kill her. Let's not get that. Let's get that right.
Well, I disagree with you.
Not verbatim.
Right, okay. He threatened to go around her house, and while he was in prison, she'd be in the cemetery. I mean, take that as you will.
Yeah.
But ultimately...
But he's not a very good comedian, is he? So he's probably thinking it's funny by saying that.
No, he didn't. It was a genuine...
Really?
It was
threat.
It was a
Why hasn't he
genuine
been
threat.
arrested then?
I don't know, and this is once again when we go back to two-tier policing. However, my view is, right...
Let me say it about someone and see how long I fucking last.
Exactly.
The SWAT team would be round, the SAS would be there.
But do you know what? I'll work for you. I would have reported you to the police myself and said, Jim, this is hugely, hugely out of order.
You fucking better not report me to the police.
Well, I would have done. And you know, and if people had called me going,
listening to this,
Jim Davidson's been arrested for this, I'd say too bloody right he has. Anyway.
Fucking phone the personnel department.
The media, but the media just didn't pick it up. Just didn't pick it up, right? So it's all over Twitter, and there's loads of other comedians getting involved and saying, hang on, Dane, this is way out of order. So he puts then a public apology and says, went a bit far.
Little bit,
you know, I used Zionism instead of Jewish, but I realise this has upset the Jewish community, you know, generally. And
what's the difference? What's Zions? What are Zions?
Well, that's your
it's a song by Boney M, wasn't
it? But they think that's like I say, they think that's a sort of get out of jail free card by saying, I'm anti-Zionist, I'm anti-Jewish. But anyway, the papers then picked up the apology, right?
Yeah.
So they ran with the follow-up and not the actual original story, which I find incredible. Like I say, if that was you, it would have been everywhere, and quite rightly it should have been. I mean, that's you threatening.
You would never hear me say anything bad about the Jewish religion.
But you would never say anything like that anyway. And this is what sort of gets me, that the reputation you have and the way the press deal with you and the way the BBC deal with you, in comparison to that,
I must be getting something right then, mustn't I? I had a guy walk into my brother's pub and he had a polo neck on like this, and he said, and my brother said, you all right? He pointed at the whiskey, so he had a double whiskey. My brother said, what's up with your throat? He pulled down, he's got a scar from ear to ear like that. He said, where'd you get that? He said, Falkland Islands. Falkland Islands. So he went round the other bar where there was a darts match on, and he said, Falklands vet round here, I can speak. Did you know what? He never bought a drink all night. That guy. And they had a whip round, they give him 50 quid they got. It was only a working class pub, they give it to him. He said, what you blokes did for us in the Falklands was fantastic. And he walked to the door, that veteran, with tears in his eyes. He knew someone cared. And he turned back and he said, muchas gracias. She's so gullible. Okay, so
you are such a shit. I was going.
And it's goodbye from her. God bless all you Falklands. Be strong. We all love you.